Why do we look at your tongue and why do we check your pulse? And doesn't my tongue just look like what I ate? So one of the ways that acupuncturists gauge what's happening in the body is by looking at your tongue and feeling your pulse. We're watching you from the time you walk in, not to be creepy, but we're looking at the way that you walk. We're looking at, if you've got vibrancy in your face, we're listening to the sound of your voice, looking at a lot of different things. And what those do is that helps us see the best way to treat you. We don't necessarily treat everybody the exact same. So I might have somebody who comes in for back pain that gets a completely different treatment than this other person that comes in for back pain. And that's one of the hallmarks of acupuncture is not treating everybody the same, treating the person, not the illness. And one of the ways that we can see kind of what other things are present in the body is through the tongue and pulse. You have to remember that when acupuncture was developed, we didn't have x-rays, we didn't have MRIs. They had to find a way to see what was happening inside where they couldn't see. So your tongue is one of the only muscles that we can actually get a good look at. So when we look at your tongue, does it look like what you've eaten? Sometimes, yeah. If any of my patients, if you've been here, you've probably had me ask you, did you eat right before you came after I look at your tongue? Or did you eat chocolate? Or because there's certain things that leave a coating on our tongue. And as long as we know, hey, that is from, X, Y, or Z that I just ate, then I'm not going to worry about it. But if somebody, for example, says, no, I haven't eaten anything, and they have a thick, greasy yellow coating on their tongue, that tells me, okay, this means X in Chinese medicine, and I'm going to treat these points for that. And that's going to make that treatment that much more effective for that person. Because again, I'm not just treating, hey, I've got insomnia. I'm treating what the body's actually telling me. And when we're looking at the tongue, we're looking at the shape of the tongue and then the color of the tongue and the coating on the tongue. So everybody thinks that they want to scrub their tongue really hard and get all the coating off, but you should actually have a very thin white coat on your tongue. That is the very beginning part of digestion. It means everything's working well in the GI system. It doesn't need to be thick, just very, very light white coating. And then when pathology starts to happen in the body, the color and the coating and the shape all start to change. So we might see teeth marks on the tongue when there's more inflammation. When somebody's getting sick, we'll see a red tip on the tongue. Different coatings can indicate different things, especially with the GI system. The very back of the tongue, if we start seeing a coating there, we start looking at the urinary system and what could be going on. So it's just more little clues. And so a lot of times your acupuncturist might look at your tongue and then ask you a couple more questions to try to hone in on what all is going on. Same thing with the pulse. Not everybody's pulses feel the same. There's an ideal pulse. I think I've felt it once or twice. That's like saying that you're going to see like the pinnacle of health. I'm sure it's out there, but I don't know that I've really met somebody who is at that point. So it's just another way for us to kind of gauge what's going on. There's 3 different positions on each wrist. 1, 2, 3. We'll feel it with 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3, and each one represents a different part of the body, a different organ. And it again just helps us hone the way that we are going to be